Francisco.
Hey
Hi.
there. I'm back. How you
It's
doing?
been too long. It's been
I
too
know.
long.
I miss you.
Hi, Vaughn. Great to see you.
Hello, hello.
Irma, Denise, Judy. Welcome, Yohav. Note takers. What did we do before these note takers?
I know,
Honestly,
right?
We were busy writing everything down.
I know.
We were scribbling furiously.
Yes, yes. Sandy, welcome. Great to see you. Welcome to Coaches in Conversation. Michelle, great to meet you. Welcome. Welcome. Hi, Drew.
Hello, STK.
What's going on? Somebody didn't recognize me today because I had my hair pulled back. She was like, I didn't even know it was you. Really?
Are you
So-
in Dallas?
So you never wear your hair back though. So
That is true.
I mean, I've never seen you with your hair back and I've known you for years.
Yeah, never.
It just got long enough to make it into a ponytail.
I thought I saw you with Molly yesterday. Are you in Dallas?
No.
Level
Nope.
Up, Level Up is there right now.
Oh, okay. Molly Mahoney?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know her, but no, we've never been in the same place at the same time. All right, let's get this party started. Welcome everyone to Coaches in Conversation, and you're in for a special treat today. Brendan McCauley is here. He is my agency partner, Go High Level agency partner, and I wish I could show you my new homepage, but you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. His team has done some incredible things for me and my clients. So I'm excited to turn the room over to him and get this conversation started about organizing your business and sales pipelines and all of the fun things that GHL can do for you. And it's amazing. So welcome, Brendan.
Hey, well, good to see so many familiar faces. SDK, pleasure to be on here. So thank you so much. For those of you I know, great to see you again. I think I saw some of you guys in the event yesterday. And Drew, good to see you. I'm glad we got that thing fixed, man. For those of you I don't know, absolutely. My name is Brendan McCauley. And basically, I love to work with amazing coaches, consultants, speakers, just like all of you, that I found tend to say the same thing. You want to show up to a room full of people. You want to change lives, get paid. That's it. You usually don't want to typically worry about all the tech stuff and the funnels and the automations and all the rest of the things. That's kind of like deer in headlights. And that's where I get to play. And that's my zone of genius. And that's when I have a lot of fun doing. So guys, I would like to do this and make it more interactive, not just me like, preach and teach. Do me a favor. If I say the word coffee, what comes to mind? What company comes to mind? Put it in the chat. If I say coffee, what comes to mind for you? I'm just curious. Usually a couple different answers, but there tends to be a couple of repeats. If I say coffee, what comes to mind? Drew says Dunkin', Mike says Dunkin', Suzanne says Starbucks. Okay, Tim Hortons, awesome. So the reason that I bring this up is these brands have become what I like to call an authority in that particular thing. So what I want to do today in the next 8 to 10 minutes is I want to show you what I call the authority ecosystem. That has anyone here? I'm curious, how long have you guys been doing what it is that you do? Put it in the chat. How many years? 6 months, 5 years, 15 years? How long have you guys been doing what you do? 22 years, John. That is awesome. 16, 25, 15. Okay, perfect. And in 1 or 2 words, 3 max, what are you known as an authority in? You're the authority of whatever. So if I say coffee, you say Starbucks. I say your name, you say what? Menopause. Okay, Denise, awesome, perfect. What are you guys authorities in? I want to know. Head trash, Julie, love that. Storytelling, women, identity, worth, and value. Mac computers, yes, cool. I can totally geek out on the tech. Getting unstuck, authority, influence, trust, beautiful. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys. If I put you on the Oprah show tomorrow, do you have the systems in place to confidently say, and Dharma, just because I'm looking at you and we just did a whole event with you, hey, Dharma, I'm going to stick you on the Oprah show tomorrow. Ask yourself this, guys. Do you have the systems in place that right now, if 10,000 people were to go to your quote unquote site or to your social media, do you have a way where they can not only come into your world and understand who you are, but that you can capture them, that you can nurture them, that you can provide value, that in 3 months, they're not going to be like, oh my God, who was that person? Has anyone ever felt like you put a lot of effort, time, energy into social media, for example, and you feel like you have to keep doing it to attempt to try and get your next client? Has anyone ever been in that hamster wheel? I know I've done that. I know I put a lot of energy effort out there and I'm like, okay, I got a couple of comments, I got a couple likes, but I'm still sort of like on this hunt sort of methodology. So not all those. Okay, so got it. So there's mixed emotions. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I should, Suzanne, I'm going to send a request.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. And just so you guys understand that I completely understand where you're at. I've been on both sides of the coin. Okay. So I've done systems. That was my corporate job. I climbed the corporate ladder and I love systems. I love tech, but it wasn't my calling. And at the same time, going through my own, I'll say weight transformation. As I transformed physically, I really started to master myself mentally. And that opened up a whole world of entrepreneurship and coaching and training. So I got every certification under the sun I could possibly think of, life coaching, like you name it. So I've seen the front and I've seen the back end. And the way my brain works is I love to reverse engineer anything that's potentially complicated and reduce it to ridiculously simple, step-by-step, what does it look like? And so I started looking at all the individuals that, in my opinion, do coaching, consulting, and be able to grow and scale impact like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. What do they do that the average coach or consultant maybe doesn't or just doesn't know about? And that's what I want to show you what I came up with. So can you guys just give me a thumbs up? Can you see my screen? Suzanne, can you see that? Okay, perfect. All right. So this top half, this is what I call basically like the online presence. Now, by no means do you guys have to be doing all of this, but just
Brendan, we're
yeah,
seeing
go
a Lamborghini.
oh, okay.
Let's
try that again.
go.
Well, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, let's try one more time.
Yeah.
How about
I
that one?
like the top half better. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that again. All right, so this top half is like your online presence, okay? So this is the entire ecosystem. Now, you guys don't need to be doing all of this, but what I want you to do is I want you to take this from a 30,000 foot view and say, where am I? What am I using? How am I showing up? All right, now there's a couple different ways. Like Dharma had a beautiful 2-day event. She just did it yesterday, did it today. So she'd fall more into this upper right. She was hosting online events. Guys, put a 1 in the chat. Have you ever done any kind of online event? A 1 if you have, a 2 if you have not. That could be a webinar, a challenge, a masterclass, a workshop. Okay, beautiful. So a lot of you have. Perfect. So the question is, when you guys are doing that, who here does a podcast? Put a 1 in the chat, put a 2 if you've not. Does anyone here have a podcast? Okay, seeing a couple 1s, 1, 2. Okay, so most of you do. Awesome. Does anyone here do any kind of direct messaging or any kind of organic social posting? Put a 1 if you do, put a 2 if you don't. Okay, perfect. So here's my question. You guys are doing all this outreach. Where are you driving people to? Are you able to connect and to collect and to gather all of these details? And so that's where this bottom half portion comes in. And this is what I've been so excited to be doing with STK is here's what I want you guys to think about. Again, this goes all the way back to what I said in the beginning. Are you known for one thing? And you have complete clarity. And if I go right now, and this is going to be the homework I'm going to recommend that you guys do, go to your social site. And if I were to look you up on LinkedIn, and if I were to go to contact info and I were to go to your site, would I be able to clearly understand that you helped this person achieve this goal in this time period with the next steps on how I can work with you? And if you have that, awesome. And if you don't, then I'm going to invite you to maybe just take a look at your site and just see what your presence is. And understand that this is what people are doing every single time you guys get onto a stage like this and you get to share, here's who I am, these are case studies, so on and so forth. Because this is happening in real time. And guys, these systems behind the scenes are totally what makes you or breaks you. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of run through this and I can show you a real world example and then STK, we can open up to some questions if that works. Okay, so your authority site, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview and just sort of the general principles, all right? So this is mine, all right? And on here, I have a video that essentially explains exactly what that looks like, everything from head to toe. There's a very specific, hey, here's exactly who we work with, and here is the next call to action. We identify who this is for. There's social proof on the site. There's my proprietary system. So if you guys have some type of system that you follow, like when you work with you, it's step 1, it's step 2, it's step 3. more social proof, and then general FAQs. Here is a huge piece that I can promise most of you do not have. Whenever you have schedule a call on your site, typically what I see, it goes straight to Calendly. Good concept. Please add this really small piece in here. You want this to go to some type of mini assessment or little mini quiz. Okay, because here's what you're doing. If you are the doctor of what you do, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's health, if it's wealth, it's relationships. When your patient comes in, how much more effective can your conversation be if you know where they are and where they stand in the process and what the pain points are? Like if I were to hop on with Dharma and Dharma would just come and just schedule a call, well, I don't really know much about Dharma. I wouldn't know much about SDK. I wouldn't know about Denise or about David or anybody else on here. But if they just do a little mini something and then they go and they schedule it, and then specifically, guys, on your calendar, now it has all the details of exactly where they are in their business, or in their health or in their relationships. It prepares you so much better. You have a much more effective call. Okay. So that's this assessment quiz piece. And then book a call, or maybe it's attend an event or whatever that's going to look like. And then the next piece is you want to have some type of email nurture sequence. Now, I know a lot of times people will say email is dead. I will disagree. And I know people that get, phenomenal open rates. So being able to stay in front of the person. So in 3 months, they're not scratching their head saying, hey, who was this person again? Here's the two pieces that I find most people do not have, and the biggest lead generation gap. Okay. Learn this from an event. They're like, guys, if you do not have this, most of you will fail. You want to have some type of community. Okay. If you do not have a community is the one thing where you will now have raving fans. You have people that are more than happy to bring other individuals in. And obviously, look, guys, you are literally in it right now. Okay. STK has a community. She was able to say, here's an event, here's free value, here's a training. So consider for yourself why, if you do not have one, why not? And if you do have one, awesome. Is that being shared? Is that being delivered to people that now come into your world? And then what's really cool is when you know what your one thing is, you're able to say, I helped this person achieve this in this time period. Well, then you have clarity. And when your audience has clarity, you have clarity, others have clarity. It's a lot easier to say, awesome. If you want to work with me, guys, these are the tiers at which it looks. And right now you guys are sitting in this room. Well, guess what? You have your own community. You could be doing the same exact thing. And people just through time will say, hey, you know what? I wasn't ready 6 months ago, but like now I am. Let's rock and roll. Okay. The second biggest mistake that I see most people do, sure, you may have your offers, but they do not have something of monthly recurring revenue. And then unfortunately, and they don't teach this when I got my life coaching thing, they didn't share any of this. Okay. But you want to have something. I don't care if it's a subscription to a newsletter. I don't care if it's for your community. I don't care if it's for a software. If it's, hey, whatever kind of value you want to give to them, please have something that's recurring on top of your offers, because it's really challenging when it's like client hunt after client hunt after client hunt versus can I build something that will allow me to leave, solid, potentially even generational wealth on an ongoing business or ongoing basis. And then the last piece I'd always recommend is having some type of nonprofit or maybe give back. All right. There's a phenomenal site. It's called B1G1. So B, the number one, G, the number one. And it basically allows you to give to any cause. And it's really slick on how they do it. They even give you like a little widget that you can actually put on your dashboard on your site. And it says, hey, because XYZ people, worked with us, here's how we've been able to have just an amazing impact. And I'll give you an example. When we were helping people run virtual events, when somebody would come in and they work with us, we'd give 365 days of food, shelter, and water to individuals around the globe. So that was a cool way that we could do it. So anyways, that's the overall ecosystem. Homework I'd say for today is just go and take a look at how do you guys show up online? Do you show up as an authority? Can you bring people into your system? Can you nurture them and take it from there? So STK, hopefully that's helpful, and happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, and I want to just the statement that you said about being on the Oprah show and all of a sudden you have 10,000 people, come into your world or want to sign up for your thing. Can you handle that? And that was the question that became painfully obvious for me. I was doing all this speaking, all this visibility with my podcast, with running this event for the past 3 years, and I couldn't manage mentally. I couldn't remember everyone, and I couldn't follow up with everyone. So that was really why we're all here right now, why I met Brendan in the first place and really started to get organized, was that exact thing. You can be great at attracting people, but if you don't have a way to communicate with those people and lead them down a customer journey, whether it's free, paid, high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, doesn't matter. You have to have that path. And in session 1 with you, you pulled up that map and did a custom version of it for me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have all the pieces, just nothing's communicating together. So if you felt that way as well, you're in the right spot. And welcome to those of you who just hopped in the room. I did see a question in the chat, and yes, he can share that diagram with all of you. That'll be really helpful. There was a question from Mike McQuillan in the chat. How does this quiz, that you showed on your site compare to asking Calendly questions? And are the Calendly questions enough?
Yeah. So my suggestion is if you can get the answers ahead of time prior to getting to the calendar. Because what's neat too, so let's just say, for example, I were to go from your site and I were to hop straight into the calendar. A lot of times you can pick the time and think like, okay, cool, I'll do this real quick because I'm in a rush. And then what I've seen happen is that you have a couple questions afterwards. And if they do not fill that out, or if all of a sudden, like your kid catches their attention, well, now you have gained absolutely nothing, and then you've essentially lost a lead. Versus if straight from the site, the next natural thing I do is say, hey, this is part of my process. I'd love to see how can I best support you. And I get these right away and I at least capture your information. Now I can do that follow-up sequence versus them just going to the calendar, potentially bouncing, and I have absolutely no information on the individuals. So like, again, just this lead generation gap, that one small thing, get it ahead of time. You can capture questions on the calendar. My recommendation is do it prior. Just so you're being a little bit more proactive in the process.
Yeah, great. Let's go to you, Faizan.
Hi, Suzanne. Hi, everybody. Brendan, awesome presentation.
Thanks,
My
sir.
question is, when do you think is the right time for a business owner to have a working funnel?
Okay, so when you say working funnel, what does that mean to you?
So it can be a type of funnel that can capture the leads, keep track of all the leads, or maybe can nurture them as well. But simple, a simple type of funnel.
Yeah, 100%. So I'd say that's the first, if not the second thing, because a lot of people go off and they'll start doing like the branding or the logo. And don't get me wrong, all of those 100%, yes, you want to show up authentically as yourself. You want to have a professional look at all the rest of it. But even at bare minimum, if you had one thing, and again, I'm going to keep harping on this because I see a lot of people what they do. And guys, I made the same mistake. It's okay, great. I'm going to make a website and I'm going to have the about and then events. And then you have all these million other things. Just so you guys understand, two very different things between a website and between the funnel, or what I call your authority site. Your website is the fancy business card that has, hey, here's all the things that happen, and I'm a best known speaker, and you can hire me for this. And that's great, but it's not ideal for conversions. So just in terms of like, if I'm going to go look at your presence online, I just need to be able to clearly identify, are you the right person to solve my problem here and now? And if so, here's the next step. Period. End of story. It doesn't have to be fancy. So at bare minimum, I would say have that up and running. Throw the quiz in there just to understand where they are in the process. And then I would have your calendar call right after that as like bare minimum. Let's at least start there. So it looks like you're an expert and an authority at what you do. The only thing I would say potentially to do before that is if you were having some type of online virtual event, like for example, if you're going to run a master class, I know STK is like going to be doing her soon, I would at least maybe start with that if you're trying to determine which do I do first, because an event is one of the best ways to build your email list, to build the know, like, and trust, to still be able to follow up with individuals, to convert into high ticket. So that's the only thing I would probably do prior. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's go to you, Mike. Oh, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Mike.
Oh.
SDK, while he's getting that up and running, guys, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put the link in the chat for those of you that do want the ecosystem that I just created. So here's a link to the actual blueprint, which actually takes it a lot more in depth. And it literally walks you through every step of the process and how to actually implement it. So if you want, grab that. Anyone that grabs that, I'll follow up with another email and I'll send you the actual ecosystem map itself too.
Awesome. Mike, are you back? No, we can't hear you.
Oop, technical snafu.
Okay. Type your question in the chat. And Sandy, you had a couple great questions. Do you want to ask them or do you want me to?
Oh, you can.
Okay. Okay. So Sandy's having a TED Talk, very exciting. What would be the
Nice.
best way to, very simply, to capture those people? I thought QR code, if you're going to share slides that leads to a page with value they could grab. Brendan, what do you think?
Yes, and actually, so I'm going to give you a fun one. So the system that we use is called High Level. So we have our own agency, our own version of it, which does have an internal QR code creator. It is working on becoming more robust. Here's a little hack that I love to use. So I'm going to put the link to the one that is not an affiliate. I just happen to use them. They allow you to create QR codes. One that's really fun is it's called a static code. And what you do, and anytime I go to an event, I don't care if you have an iPhone, Android, doesn't matter. You create the QR code and you put it on like either the back of your screen or you put it into your slides. And what happens is that when they scan it, you can actually, it will pull up a text message in their phone directly to your number. So let's just say you have an automated number, for example. So I have my business number. It can pre-populate the message. So for example, let's just say Sandy, I scan your code. A text message will pull up to your business number and it'll say, hey, this is Sandy. Thank you so much for, attending my event today. Hit send and I'll send you all my XYZ details and my presentation slides and blah, blah, blah. The second they hit send, then in the system, you can do whatever you want. You can tag them. You can send an email. Get this, you can leave a voice note for them. So imagine it within an hour and a half after your presentation is done. And guys, this blew me away. And I'll tell you what it was. So I went to go check out some person's event and they didn't put the price on it, which was genius. And what they do is they make you go to the bottom of the page and it had what they call a double opt-in, which basically means that you need to enter your details first before you can see the price. And I put in my details. I saw the price. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I got it. Within 5 minutes, I had an email, I had a text message, and I had a voicemail. Okay. And it basically said, hey, saw you checked out the site recently. Super excited. Tickets are going to go up soon. Would love to have you hop in. Let me know if you want one of our team members to hop on. And the second I saw that, I'm like, that is unreal. How did they just do that? So that 100% is within your power. You can do those things. Here's what I would say. Anytime you're going to do any kind of QR code or whatever, just think always with the end in mind. Like what would absolutely blow the audience away that if all of a sudden I reached out to them this way, they'd be like, oh my God, this person is everywhere. That's insane. And it's not hard to do. That is the coolest part about it. So that's what I would do, Sandy.
Yeah, put the link in the chat so we have access to that.
Okay.
Or
for those of you that put the blueprint, I'm happy to connect with you afterwards and I can walk you through and show you how to do it.
I'll do that.
Cool.
The other thing that I put in the chat is when you are taking those questions, they're tagged by answer into a bucket that you can start a drip campaign that's relevant to the section they're in.
Yep, 100%. Right? Yep.
Okay.
So if they answer a certain way based on that response, you can have a completely different sequence going out to them per whatever their challenge or their answer is. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really the key especially for coaches who have a, lower monthly recurring revenue offer, then they have maybe a mid-ticket offer and then a high-ticket offer. When someone goes through that questionnaire before scheduling or even before coming to a workshop or an event, think about that. They're immediately in a bucket. Oh, this based on their income level and what they do for a living, they're in this bucket for this offer. And I just saw that as such a massive opportunity. If I can attract 3,000 people, all 3,000 of those people don't need my emails for a 10-person high ticket mastermind because they might not be the right client. They're not going to open the emails. And I have noticed just getting more specific with the offer that I'm giving to that person, sales rates have gone up and open rates have gone up tremendously because they are receiving value that's based on where they're at in business. So that's really important to think about too, that if you're good at attracting people, everything else becomes so easy if you can just put people in different buckets for your different offers. And it really, really made so much sense to me. I spent all these years getting good at attracting people and, having events, hosting events, getting a facilitation certification. Like, let's make it worthwhile and really give those people what they need. So, love it. Sandy, perfect for you. Mike, are you back?
Am I back? Am
You're
I back?
back. You're back.
All right.
Got 'em.
Excellent.
All
Yeah,
right.
don't plug and replug. To be the best at what you do, you have to be terrible at 100 other things you do.
Yes.
It's the life of us. Well, I got my USB working. Here's
Nice.
my predicament. I love the fact that you lead off with events. I do one once a month. Is capturing people's information as they come into the event.
Mm-hmm.
I sign people up in two places. On Zoom directly, and I just might put my link in the chat in just a moment. And then also on LinkedIn. Then when you go to LinkedIn, you register, which people usually do the last minute to get in. If they've got like the workshop started 2 minutes ago, they're trying to log in and register. I don't want to put up a questionnaire to qualify them. First off, I'm not going to have time to read it. And second, they don't want to do it.
Right.
For registering, it's one thing to get somebody on the calendar. Calendly questions are good and they help me a lot. But in terms of registering people for the event, so I know who are the real players and who's just coming to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way connected to Zoom to get those pre-qual questions so I know who's really into it and is going to get the most out of it, and how to tailor the workshop to the people who pre-registered?
Well, I'll take the Zoom question because no, there is not a way to ask questions before somebody registers on Zoom. But if you saw the new registration for this event, that's how you do it. You would do it through a landing page, supply the Zoom link, via text message, via email, with a calendar ad, and that way you could ask questions before they register if you wanted to.
Okay, you mean like a Google? I can send out a Google form, but then it's optional. I don't want to put up obstacles either, because some people come
Right.
just to hang out and they say, "Oh, I like this."
Yeah.
I don't want to disqualify people either. Is there a way to get more information from people coming to the workshop before they come to the workshop?
I love getting feedback afterwards. So I love a quick little survey after an event. And the last question is, do you want to meet with Suzanne?
Oh, nice. Okay. I do put the calendar link up during the workshop, but you're right, a little follow-up. Would you like to?
Well, and get feedback too. What did you think of the event? What could I do to improve? What questions do you have? And then, do you want to meet with me? And then your calendar link is there on the survey, all the survey results dump onto an Excel spreadsheet, and you use that to improve your next event, your next event, your next event. You're using that information to get better at what you do.
To get it to the spreadsheet, is that something I could do from a Google form to a
Yep.
Google spreadsheet? That
Yep.
works?
Yep.
Okay, I'll figure that one out. One more tech skill that I'll master in the next 100
Yeah,
years.
you got that. It's super easy.
If I can get my microphone to work, we're good.
That's right. Brendan, what do you have to say about questions on a landing page for registration?
Yeah, I'd say registration wise, anything that you can do to reduce friction to be able to get them to sign up, I think is ideal. So I don't know if I necessarily ask questions just from the registration perspective. If they're specifically seeking your help, I think that's probably where it makes the most sense. Of like, hey, awesome, happy to hop on a call. Please go through just a couple of these questions up front. Couple things that you can do once they've registered. I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, if, especially if you got a few days in between, like let's just say your event's not going to be till next Wednesday and you got 10 people and come and register, you could easily do a follow-up maybe leading up to the event, maybe 5 days out. Hey, super excited. Here's the things that we're going to talk about. By the way, here's a couple other items that we've been contemplating, throwing as part of our workshop or whatever, which would be most beneficial to you. Check the box below. And that could be a very simplistic survey of, maybe 5 different things. You just haven't put a check and then hit go. Like that could be one way to do it. The other thing is too, a lot of times, like from these events, typically the ones that we'll do are more application style. So at the very end, hey, if you want to come and work with us, we are taking applications, the cart closes, whatever, 4 days from now. And then you have the follow-up sequence, and specifically in that application process is a great way to say, if you want to work with us, blah, 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 this is what it looks like. And then I would ask very specific questions in there, just to see kind of what does that look like for us moving forward, hop on the call, see if it's the right fit, and then ideally close the deal.
I like it. Thanks. I put out a thank you video. Actually got one because I get almost 200 people sign up on LinkedIn, and probably
Nice.
a tenth of them will be there, and that's optimistic now, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can serve 200 people, so fine. But you're right. I do send out a video. Thank you for registering. And some people say, I don't know what I signed up for. I responded to somebody last time. I said, that's what I said when I was born. Got a nice little. So you're right. Send out a video and then put more poignant questions. I like that. I'm going to do that. If you're registered, keep a lookout for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's go to you, Amanda.
Thank you so much. And it's great to see Brendan. I met with him once and it was phenomenal, even just the brief time we had together.
Sure.
He's great at helping people. So I look forward to working with him in the future. My first question, I'm kind of at the starting point of things. But I've heard a lot of people talk about having a little like class or something and I was thinking about just putting something out there, maybe even for the holidays, helping people to de-stress a little bit as a somatic coach. It's kind of my jam. How do you think that, I don't know what I'm even asking. How could I maybe get that out there to people to say, hey, for the holidays, there's, would you like a little help to de-stress and kind of be able to find a little more harmony in your holidays? But I was wondering if you had any ideas that might.
Yeah. So, and here's the one thing I guess I will tell you from having done events for 4.5+ years, you can have the best tech, the best tools, the best systems. Butts in seats is always the hardest thing. And I don't care how popular you are. I don't care how much of a name you have. That is always the hardest thing. Free events, yes, maybe 10% show up rate is kind of average. Paid, sometimes a little bit more. One thing that I have seen from a guy that did it really well, which we're actually looking and contemplating implementing, is after somebody goes to the main page and they register, the second page basically says that you are not confirmed until you hop on a call with us, which I thought was ideal because it weeds out a lot of individuals. And then what winds up happening is on that call, 3 things need to happen. So let's just say, Amanda, you and I hop on that call. 1, I'm going to confirm that this is the right event for you. 2, that you're actually going to show up, you're going to be live, you're going to be present, you're going to be on camera. And 3, that you're going to have a post-call follow-up to give us feedback on the event. Because that right there tackles basically all the biggest pain in the asses that most of us have. A, to even get people on there, B, to get them to show, and then B, to hop on a sales call. And I loved his approach because it knocked out all 3 at one time. So I say all that to say that's just a different way to approach it. And if you have the ability to take those calls, or potentially a team member, a spouse, a kid, whatever, that might be advantageous. We do have the tools to be able to make it very easy for you to get an event out there without a lot of, like, how do I create all these things? So happy to support you from that perspective. At bare minimum, here's what's going to sell. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of the template and just a couple things that you guys are going to want to leverage. Let me know if can you see that SDK? Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guys, the headline is what's going to sell your events. All right. So it needs to be a very catchy headline that speaks exactly to the issue that the individual has, with the subheadline. And then the next thing is going to be ideally the video. That's going to basically sell them, okay, is this worth my time? Is this not worth my time? All right. It doesn't have to be a long, complicated sales page, but just simply a call to action Something I always recommend, guys, your call to action is what I call above the fold. If you don't know what that means, the fold is basically anywhere on the screen where I don't have to scroll down. If it's below the fold, that means I need to scroll down to be able to take action, okay? So you want to have a button that's above the fold, a clear promise, exactly what they're going to get with it, when it is happening, what is the promise, and who is this for? Here's a fun little script that you guys can use sort of as like a template if you're not sure what the hell to shoot on these videos. For this main registration page, I learned this from a guy, his name is Matt DeSeno. It's called the 4 Ps. Who's the person? What's the problem? What's the product? And what's the payoff? Person, problem, product, and payoff. And that's a really simplistic way to say, hey, there's no better time than XYZ. If you're looking to blah, 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 and you're a person struggling with this, awesome. I have an event that helps you tackle A, B, and C. Starting here shortly. This is exactly what you can expect. If that sounds like you, click on the link below. We'll see you inside. All right. That's the general gist of it. But yeah, at bare minimum, I would have this. If you want to go a little overboard, and then this is how we have ours set up. Once they click on it and they enter their details, so I'll just throw this in here real quick. Then the next piece is it has a VIP upsell, all right? And so that could be something that's done prior to the event. That could be something that's done after the event, but just a very simplistic way. It's like, hey, if you want to get the most of this experience, this is what it looks like. And in here, you have number 1, number 2, number 3. So you're gonna get all these amazing things. Yes, upgrade, or no, not. And then you just, okay, here's another helpful thing. Have them, as far as like just the confirmation page, these are the pieces I would definitely recommend that you guys put. Have them put it on the calendar. And there's a tool that's called Add Event. And I'll put this in the chat so you guys can see what it is. It's free to use. It allows you to basically mark whenever your thing's going to be. And then when they click on the link, it immediately says, okay, how do you want to add this event to your calendar? They click on it, they download it, and now it's on there. So it's just an additional way to have you guys help in terms of like people actually showing up. Step number 2 is join the community. So this is, again, why it's important to have that community piece or even just some type of meeting space. And then the third thing that we like to do, I personally created an event dashboard, which is just the central hub of where everything's happening. Your guys could be, hey, make sure you click the Zoom link, and here it is. So we don't have to get too technical or into it. And I'm happy to answer questions so I can show you what that looks like. But that's the general, Amanda, at the very basics: registration, potential VIP, confirmation, and at least an email that clarifies like the next steps and just reminder for them to show up.
Thank you. That was perfect. And then it also made me think about, we can just advertise, not just me, but anybody could just advertise in the communities we're already a part of. And then we're already kind of known a little bit, so that maybe that would be a good way to start sharing, since I don't have a large email community yet.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. The beautiful thing about events is it doesn't need to be a big event for big sales, right? Because especially if you have your thing, clearly identified and you provide a lot of value and, you serve your audience at the highest level. Guys, I've seen events of 10, 15 people that potentially could do 6 figures because you just, write message to market match. You say, hey, come and apply with me. Awesome. This is what our program looks like. Do you want to move forward? It doesn't have to be more complicated than that.
That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
For sure. Okay, I see a few people saying, yes, I use ad events for my stuff. Yeah, it works really well.
I just wanted to say, Amanda, I want to encourage you to just start, even before you have the pages, before you have everything set up. Just schedule that event and strategically invite, 10 or 20 people who believe in you, support you, and just get out of your comfort zone and do it. Attractor events, that's how I started this event 3.5 years ago. I invited 4 coach friends of mine to come to a conversation about pricing as a coach. And we were all struggling with it. Nobody was talking about it on social media. And I just said, let's come together and talk about it. And at the end of the conversation, everybody said, are we doing this again next month? And then next month, and the next month, and the next month. And over 3.5 years, over 3,000 coaches have come to this event. And that has grown my reputation, grown my email list. And I've never offered the coaches anything for sale except coming into my community. And I'm starting a coach mastermind in January. It'll be the first time I've offered them something for sale. So just start and start building that list and start attracting those ideal clients to you. Hope that helps.
Thank you. That was great. And that's been the theme for the day. I don't know, over and over again, finding the ideal clients. So I'm not spending time on those who aren't ready for it. So
Correct. And if you know people that have communities, and a couple of you in this room have done events with me in the past where Brendan's here because of me. I invited him. He's here. He's sharing his wisdom with you. So if you know people that have communities, and this goes for all of you, ask how you can deliver value. I call it middle of funnel value. And those that know me hear me talk about this all the time. That's how I've gotten every opportunity to speak, to be in front of a large group. My AI mentor has promoted me to his Facebook group of 450,000 people, gotten me in-person speaking gigs, all because I showed up in his community and provided value. So ask yourself, what communities am I in that I can be of service to, and say, hey, I would love to provide this workshop for your stressed out people over the holidays. And then they invite everybody to the workshop. And that would be incredible for you, Amanda.
be amazing. That'd be amazing. Thank you.
So that's
Thank
a
you.
yes, you'll do it?
Yes, I will
All
do
right.
it. I will reach out to you too and see if you have any
Perfect.
people. If anybody wants to have a little help with that, or would like it, or know some people who do, I'm happy to share. So
Love it.
thank
Love
you.
it.
Appreciate it.
All right. What other questions do you guys have?
So I was going to give one other fun little freebie. So in the chat, something that I love to have is a video opener. So I made one that is agnostic. Doesn't matter who you guys serve, how you serve them, but it's essentially just a countdown timer. So when you're throwing your events, doesn't matter how long it's going to be or whatever, I'd highly recommend, the trick to it is that you take that video, you download it to your computer, and then as you're about to go live, upwards of maybe 30 minutes prior, I would give it a little bit of like buffer time, because people love to hop into events 5-10 minutes late. So then what you do is, when you go to share on your screen, when you're using Zoom, you'll see that there is a advanced option. So you go to advanced, you would select video file, and then you would select that video that you just downloaded, and then it literally plays it perfectly. So now as you're in the waiting room and people start to hop on, 15 minutes, whatever, they can see it's like, it's just really well orchestrated, and it's not just sort of like this dead kind of silence. So anyways, that might be a fun little tool for those of you that are either throwing events currently or want to.
Oh, Sandy, great question. If you're not using GHL, getting all of those pieces in place with different products or softwares or tools is a pain in the what. There's other options like Kajabi, ClickFunnels, but there is nothing like GHL for an all-in-one solution. I will say that the learning curve is a little bit more advanced than other tools. But once you learn how to do it, very, very easy to get up and started. And, between 97 and 197 a month. And when you talk about using 6, 8, 10 other tools, piecing it together, it's a bargain. Denise, let's go to you.
Hello, everyone. Good to see y'all. Question with GHL. So I've been, Suzanne knows this. I've been kind of ping-ponging back and forth for a couple of years, but everything is going there. But my question would be, is about memberships, right? We talked about having the free community. And does it make sense to have a free community in GHL and your paid community? Because they'd be separate. How would you manage that?
I think STK, I'll let you share your thoughts, because you've got your fair share in hands-on communities.
Yeah, I would say one or the other. if you can do pricing tiers, give a certain amount for free and then here's where you start paying, or do your free community. Like I have a WhatsApp group for this group, and that's just a way to, stay in touch in between meetings. It all depends on your people. Are they going to be willing to join a platform, engage? Do they want that? And then if they do, giving it for free to the public, you have to figure out a way to gate your paid options.
Yeah, that was I guess my question, because I know you've talked about uh, another program that does tiers, and I mean, I have the note written down here about the free membership, paid membership. How do I make that work? So okay, that's helpful.
I don't know with GHL's communities. I'm in about 20 separate communities of Jonathan's, my AI mentor, because every workshop that he does, 3-day event, he has a separate community for it. That's not how I would have set it up. I would have set it up in like a classroom style, and each challenge you either subscribe to it or you don't. So I'm sure there's a way to set it up on a landing page that, here's what you get for free and here's what you get at the paid level. But letting those people interact with each other is really where the magic begins.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, you want people to be in the same conversation, whether they're just in the free part or if people have upgraded for another piece. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's helpful.
You're welcome. Sarah.
Yo, brother. So, all right. Do you put the mini quiz, like, do you code it in, or is there a markdown file that you include to the actual, like, before the funnel? Is that how that works, or?
Yeah, I'll show you behind the scenes what mine looks like. Because I was just looking at your site as well. So here, let's do a little screen share. This is yours, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So just right out of the gate, my suggestion is I would make all of this one line. So that way it moves it up, and I would move your book now to where it can be seen on the screen without me having to scroll. Outside of that, I think the concept of everything else looks solid. And the only difference is where it says get answers, instead of this going to your calendar page, what I would do, so you can see like this is my funnel. So like this is your welcome page, same concept. I would have one specifically here that is just marked for questions. So then that's the next one that it naturally bounces to. And on this questions page, the only thing that's there is literally same title, same branding, same everything. Excited to get to know you better. Answer the short questionnaire below, so we have the details needed to help you on your call. And then I would just embed the quiz right here, have them go through that. And then once the quiz is done, then go to what you have here for your calendar piece.
Heard. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that by itself will just be super helpful. And then what I would make sure I do is if they don't fill out the calendar, I'd set up an automation where you specifically say, if they've answered this, basically it's like a bounced cart. Yeah, so I got one of these, but essentially just a bounced cart. So it's like, okay, if they fill that out, wait for 20 minutes. And then if that doesn't happen, then go into the sequence that follows up with them.
Dope. Thanks.
Cool.
Brendan, that quiz that you just showed, that's in GHL. That's actually a survey, correct?
Yes, correct.
It's not a form.
Correct. I do it as survey just because a survey allows you to just go that one step to the next.
Yeah, I like the way it looks better too, the way it scrolls through the question. So for those of you that use GHL and you want to have a questionnaire, they're great, the forms that get filled out. But a survey actually looks more like a quiz, and they can actually be pretty robust with the idea that all of those answers end up in your in your leads contact card. So imagine if you have 100 new people and they all fill that out, where they're at income wise, where they're like, depending on the questions that you ask. So that means on my email list, only coaches are being invited to a coach thing. Only entrepreneurs are being invited. Like, I'm not inviting my email list of dentists and doctors to this event because it's all segmented properly. And that's increased attention, it's increased open rates, and it's increased sales for me. Again, going back to knowing your target and being more specific with the value that you're providing them.
Cool. Any other questions? And guys, there's no stupid questions. So if anyone's like, oh, I don't know if I want to ask this, I promise you somebody's thinking it. So if you're just like, hey, what about my situation or my scenario? Don't hesitate, and we're happy to go through it with you. Just not all at once.
Yeah. Vaughn, go ahead. Oh, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, brother.
All right, the audio guy can't be heard. That's not good marketing. So I'm a jazz saxophonist as well as my main business about audiobook for authors to self-narrate. So in high level, do you need 2 accounts to run like 2 brands? Say if I want to do like my jazz email list and then also authors and audiobooks and publishers and things like that. Do you need to have 2 like high level accounts, or can you multi-brand within?
I'd say it probably is worth going through the specifics to see how different they are. Like if you were saying that they were 2 completely different audience that like did not cross, did not touch, and you want to keep them completely separate, then I'd say it'd probably behoove you to have 1 account specifically for the jazz and then 1 for the other piece. If there's some type of way that they sort of mesh and mingle, like, okay, great, they came in on this side in some form or fashion, they may want these kind of other services, then at that point, I'd say, keep them all in 1. And then you just want to be really clear with the nomenclature, the naming, the tagging, specific pipelines that you keep them in, and just kind of like, what is that intention? And then if that is the case, what I would say is before you even go craft stuff in high level, like I always love to, and this is what I did with Suzanne, is we kind of blueprint, like what are the expectations? Where do you want to like walk through? And like white glove treatment of like, great, you came here and you got my lead magnets. If things in a perfect world went well, they would get this email and this follow-up sequence. They would attend this event. They would understand blah, blah, blah. Like kind of map what you want that to ideally look like. And then I would go and I would put it into the system to support you to do that.
Gotcha. All right. Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, decide that customer journey ahead of time before you do any software, any like page designing. Everybody wants to jump to what do I want the page to look like? And I say, stop yourself and really decide the customer journey. Where are those people coming from? What do you want to happen? And what's the ultimate goal? And where do you want them to end up? How do you want them to feel along the way? And also keep in mind that it used to be years ago, 6 or 7 touches before somebody would come to an event, pay for a challenge, buy your book, whatever. Now it's 11 to 17. So they need to see your face or receive something from you 11 to 17 times before they trust you. So it's even more important in the online space today to make sure that that customer journey, you get as many touches as possible. So let's think about a funnel. When somebody comes in to register for an event, and they go to your registration page and they fill out the form, and then they go to a thank you page and they add it to their calendar. That's 2 touches. Then they join your WhatsApp group or they get an email from you. That's 3, 4 touches. Well, now you've sped up that know, like, and trust factor. It's just human psychology, and there's no manipulation involved. It's just how fast can you get somebody seeing your face and your name so that that customer journey ends up taking less time, which is what we all want, right? We want to speed up that customer journey a little bit, the time from attraction to the person becoming a client. Dharma, go ahead.
So my question is regarding, I was trying to log on to my Go High level.
Mhm.
And apparently I am in the old profile, which I am now seeing that I could potentially get all my contacts. How would I transfer that information into my new profile that is in your subcategory? Because I don't want to do, because I'm seeing that some of the contacts that I have just for today are in that machine.
You're referring to the old agency that you're able to get access to?
Yes.
Yeah, so one thing that's really important is when you go to export your contacts, you want to make sure that in that current contact view that you add every column possible, because when it when you hit export, it will export the data that is currently showing in there. And a lot of times people will do is like, okay, I'm gonna hit export, I got my stuff, I think I'm good, and they didn't include the other columns, and then they wind up missing information. So that would just be my one suggestion, and it's super simple. As long as the agency gives you access to do that, you should, when you go to contact, see like an export or an import button, and it looks like a little box with an arrow sticking out of it. Yeah, so just select all your columns to make sure they're viewable in there, hit export, download it, and then we can work to migrate that into your sub account.
So I have one that says Google Contact, Breathwork Group, Facebook Group, LinkedIn Group. And they're kind
those
of
are just, I think those are just your smart lists that are sitting at the top, correct?
Yes, but some of them are actually not in all contacts. So I would have to go in and find a way to.
So let's do this. I think you and I are going to connect later anyways. So we'll take a look at it. We'll figure out how to get all your stuff out of there and then organized.
Okay.
Thanks. One fun question. Does everybody here, all right, who here, if you use a CRM, put 1. If you do not use any kind of CRM currently, put 2. I'm just curious to see who's actually using a CRM for their business. Okay, so Stefan's saying 2. Okay, seems like a lot of people are saying 1. All right, here's one thing that drove me nuts, and I came up with a solution for it, so I'm going to share it with you guys. In the chat, this is essentially a file that I created to help you guys with tagging, because tagging can be one of those things that can be so powerful or such a nightmare in your CRM. All right, so click on that, hit copy, just hit save. I'm going to show you how it works. So it's super simple. All right, you guys, I'm not showing the Lamborghini this time, right? Like you can see the Excel. Okay. All right, so the concept behind this, these parts at the top, let me zoom this in just a little bit. These are examples from previous tags that I had. So as you can see, a lot of these, like if I were to, and these tags can add up over time, if I were to try and filter or sort or all my leads by something very specific, it's all over the place, right? And it's like, okay, it made sense at the time when I created it. Now I'm like, what the hell did I just come up with? So here's what I thought made more sense. First is to give a category to whatever your tag is. Second is to give a subject to that category. And then third is the actual topic details. So for example, if I had like discovery call, I don't know what that means, versus if I did category and I did appointment, confirmed, discovery call, or you could do appointment, discovery call confirmed, however makes sense to you. Then what it does is it spits out the final tag here and it basically joins it. So this would be my suggestion, is I would go through and in this red area, paste any old tag that you have, then go ahead and categorize it, give it a subject and then specific details. And now, so let's just say, for example, it's event, it's, registrant, and then it's, I don't know, millionaire workshop. Or if I could, I could do it backwards. I could do millionaire workshop, I could do registrant. So now think about this. Now, anytime I go to my list, I say, okay, I want only people that went to an event. Well, great. I can go now through my event category. I want only people that actually registered. Cool. I could go and I could sort it that way. So it's just going to speed up your guys' time, and it's not going to be like all chaotic. Be like, how the hell do you want to figure out who went to what? That for me has been such a lifesaver. And that's one of the first things that I will do when I work in someone's system is like, let's look at your tags and at least get that organized. I promise you that will save you tons of hours.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Replay will be sent out within the next couple days. And Brendan's bonuses and the replay are available in the Expansion Lab community on School. If you're not there, would love to have you. The general membership is open for free until November 1st. I'm closing my Facebook group, so any of you who are in the Facebook group, it's going bye-bye. Finally, I've said I was going to do it for years, but I'm finally doing it. So the school community, I'm putting that link in the chat. There's that for you guys. And thank you so much, Brendan. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Any other thoughts? Let's do your big takeaway. You know how I love rapid fire, round the room. Big takeaway from today, Drew.
Actually, your education that you do for Go High Level is unbelievable. And I mean, just the things that you're sharing, Brendan, I really appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah. My pleasure. Thanks, Drew.
Awesome. Thank you. Yohav, takeaway.
I'm learning every meeting something new, but thank you so much, Brendan. I gave you like a small tip there to show you that I know what I'm doing, but it's between you and me.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Love it. Amanda, takeaway.
Oh, got you on mute.
Okay. My takeaway is I already have people to offer it to in the different communities. I'm like, oh, there we go. And I have people who have communities. So, and who doesn't want to be a little less stressed for the holidays? So I think it's a perfect opportunity. So yeah, I'm excited to like have this spark right now and just go with it. So, and I appreciate both your words, all of your words, everybody. So thank you.
Love it. Robert, takeaway.
That I should probably be using Go High Level since I bought it a year ago and haven't used it very much.
Well, this was your message. I felt the same way for 3 years and finally just said, it's time. It's time, Robert. You're good at attracting people. Stefan, great to see you. You're on your phone. It's very hard. You have to like swipe up or something to unmute. Let me see if I can do it for you. I'll ask you to unmute. Does that help?
Hi, hello. Yes.
Yes.
That worked. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Clearly, I have a lot of technological issues. So this conversation was very mind-opening. I also came a little late, so I apologize. But thank you, Brendan, for all the info. My big takeaway is decide the customer journey. Plot that out in advance and then figure out what the resources you need to put in place so that your customer's getting everything that they need from you. So thank you for that.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Love it. Jennifer, what is your takeaway?
Sorry. Just that I need to get better at using Go High Level. I think it's very powerful, and so it's my first time joining, I believe so too. So I was just kind of observing, but yeah, need to get better at it.
All right.
Thank you.
All a journey. Dharma, what's your takeaway?
Well, having had 4 funnels and knowing how it can use, losing it all and having to start all over again, and then deciding to just scrap whatever is there, which means that every time I see Brendan, I'm triggered.
Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Exactly. I am extremely triggered, and I'm going to take the bull by the horn today. And yes, Brendan, I'm going to nail my ass to the seat, and we're going to have the conversation.
Nice.
Cool.
And listen, let's just reframe it from triggered to, oh crap, what is possible if I get this correct? And that's what happened for me. There's not many people that can make me uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, in that first session with Brendan, it was 90 minutes and I was uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God. This, because I saw the potential and because I saw what's possible for me. So
Yep.
allow it to
I
be
can relate.
exciting.
Yep.
Allow it to be exciting instead. Sarah, take away.
No, I mean, he's super good at explaining everything, and then like your actual like physical representation of how content marketing works. Dude, I could not agree anymore. I just spoke about that today too. So good job to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike O'Neill, take away.
I heard from Sarah, heard, and I love that expression because it was very helpful. For those who are contemplating make the move from your current Go High level, Brendan and his team, I was fretting. I fretted for no reason whatsoever. It was seamless. It was almost anticlimactic. So Brendan, hats off to you and your team.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Mike.
Nice. Vaughn, do you have a takeaway today?
I do. I have I love the question or the little quiz after the book a call. That's come up in different areas for me. So this is just another confirmation to kind of weed out the tire kickers and really have a solid call with people. Ultimately, I want to be able to use this funnel so that by the time they get to me, it's basically, all right, I'm ready. How much is it, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or they may even know that much already.
Yeah, I love that too. And I just thought of something as you were talking that, people might end up in your funnel who don't yet have a book or who are just thinking. So I was thinking this could even be helpful for your referral partners. To ask those questions ahead of time, because if somebody's not ready for you, they're ready for one of your partners.
Right.
And when I think like that, I end up attracting more people to me because it's not just for me.
Right.
It's for everyone within my community. If I start thinking like that, it becomes so easy to refer business out, introduce people, connect people, and attract more people that way.
Right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did have a question because I had a high level a while back, and it was tied into kind of a VA service, so it was really expensive. It was like almost $300 a month. Yeah, it was so when I see like a 97, I'm guessing that one, it is the same thing. And when you said 97 between and 100 and something, is that just more features or access kind of thing, the price difference?
Brendan, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah. So, and just so everybody understands how high level works. So high level is a base platform built by software engineers for anyone. It was initially designed for agency owners to decide how they want to support their clientele. So some people as agencies, for example, will only offer one feature and they'll specialize and just say, hey, you just get a pipeline, you just get a text message, and like that's it. Some people will only do HVAC companies, some will do brick and mortar. I happen to only specialize in coaches, trainers, speakers, consultants. And, A, having come from that world, and then B, also understanding sometimes from a cash flow perspective, that can be a little bit of a challenge depending on where we are in our business. We kept it at 97 and made it all inclusive. The other portion too, a lot of it depends on how the agency owner decides to support their individuals. So part of the reason why STK and I started to work together is because my thought on it, when you get high level right out of the gate. Juan, have you ever been to IKEA, the store?
Yeah.
Okay. So, right. Like you see the beautiful thing in there, and then all of a sudden you get this box at home and there's 1,000 pieces.
Right.
And ideally there's some instructions. Well, imagine high level. If you don't know what you're doing, it's almost like you got the 1,000 pieces and you have no idea what to do with it. And you're like, oh my God, everything looks the same.
Right.
I prefer to be a more results-based style agency. And the way that we do that is through something I've already customized and set up, what I essentially call a launch pad. And so we've gotten to the point where you could just answer some questions and it builds the funnels and the follow-up and the automation and the sites and all the rest of the stuff. So you can just focus on doing what you do, not, hey, how do I make all the tech stuff work? So, you know, the biggest thing, and guys, if it's not with me, if it's not with SDK, just find an agency that like ultimately helps you achieve the end result, because that's really what you're using this for, right? You want more leads, you want more clients, you want more people that are satisfied, you want more referrals. So that's just the approach that I prefer to take from it. And that, you know, it gets really fun because when you come in and you just answer some stuff and all of a sudden it looks like the whole thing's done. It's like, it's very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
That sounds super fun.
It is.
Yeah,
right.
I'm a total geek for stuff like that too. And that was one of the major attraction features for me. Like, oh, your agency's going to have all of the AI enabled custom valued things. I said, I'm in. I want all of them. Like, let's go. And because I see the potential with AI, not only voice, sending messages to people, the AI workflows, and, you know, actually being able to build a whole funnel, just answering a couple questions, I knew that's what people needed. So proud to refer people into it, which you guys know I don't refer many things. I don't sell other things unless I'm truly using it myself. So
Nice.
love it.
Thanks.
Well, thanks everyone. Thanks, Brendan.
Appreciate you.
Make sure that you follow Brendan on LinkedIn, connect with him, ask questions. He's like me, approachable and totally accessible for you guys. So, thanks for sharing that, Brendan, and look forward to more. Maybe we need to do go high level stuff more often.
Yeah, people want to geek out on it. I'm happy to go a little behind
Yeah.
the weeds and go to town on it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Have a great night, everyone.
Great to see you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That's
You're
lovely.
welcome.
Brandon, before she kicks us out, I just want to show you something.
Yeah, hit me.
So if you like take like when you showed the preview thing, so let's take this thing for instance. You can put an arrow there and move it instead of making a box around what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a
Is
great
that-
great reminder. I
So you
appreciate
go,
it.
you do it in, you know, like you get those, you can make, you know, like a line or whatever, and or a box and move the box instead of, you know, highlighting what you did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
no,
an excellent presentation, by the way. Don't.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, always little things we can do better, right?
Right. Yep. Good job.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Johan.
you, man.
We'll see you guys.
All right.
See ya. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Brendan.
You too.